Hello, Namaskar, welcome to Lok Talks. This is Dr. Lokesh Bhatia. We'll be talking today about a topic which has been quite often has been forwarded on WhatsApp, and a lot of people have been asking me, can you share with us little details about this? So the topic is sarcopenia. I'll be talking things little bit of details so that one can understand what it is, and we'll try to be very precise so that everybody can understand what it is and how it helps, and the knowledge about this, the awareness about this, why is it important. By the end of this, you will be learning a lot.
Namaskar, welcome to Lok Talks. Thank you very much for subscribing to this channel for professional medical guidance, spirituality and meditation and life coaching. Here is my WhatsApp number. Do connect me in person if you have any question. Thank you.
So after the age of 50 or 60 years, it is not possible to lose weight, especially if you are not doing regular exercises and if you are not physically very active, because the muscles start getting wasted. So just do not only rely on the diet part, also be physically very active, because if all the muscles are lost, it can be very dangerous. So let's understand this phenomenon. What is it? What is sarcopenia? Right? So sarcopenia and osteoporosis are both significant health problems, particularly in postmenopausal women. Postmenopausal women, this is something very common to develop osteoporosis and sarcopenia. So there has been a study which has proven the association between sarcopenia and osteopenia or osteoporosis, that one another goes hand in hand. Sarcopenia leads to osteoporosis, osteoporosis leads to further sarcopenia. And the study was done in Japanese women and was evaluating the prevalence of sarcopenia in women with osteopenia and osteoporosis. So sarcopenia, what is it? It's a progressive generalized skeletal muscle disorder which may increase the risk of osteopenia. Coming to the next point, that is sarcopenia, the decline of the muscle mass or as per the age causes impairment in the gait, that is walking difficulty, disability and falls. It may therefore increase the risk of fracture for the osteoporotic woman. So you can understand how important it is to do the prevention of fall prevention in sarcopenic and osteopenic women. Sarcopenia screening simultaneously with bone mineral density examination by DEXA may be of value in identifying osteoporotic women with sarcopenia. Okay, a group that may be most in the need of exercise interventions to increase the muscle and bone marrow density. Let's understand, is this a problem of only of elderly age group, or it can happen in young age also? So let me make this point very clear, that patients with inflammatory bowel disease, that is Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, henceforth I will be saving CD and UC. Crohn's disease is CD. Is such patients at young age also will develop sarcopenia. So sarcopenia is responsible for an increased risk of disability. Many of the factors associated with osteopenia also results in decrease in muscle mass in such patients who have developed inflammatory bowel disease. Right? So the prevalence of sarcopenia is high in young patients with Crohn's disease and strongly related to osteopenia. These two are interrelated problems. Means sarcopenia will lead to osteopenia and osteopenia will lead to further sarcopenia. Patients with Crohn's disease are prone to develop osteoporosis. A loss of muscle mass is called sarcopenia and is responsible for an increased risk of fall and subsequent disability. Many factors associated with osteopenia are also associated with sarcopenia, that is, decreased muscle mass. I'll lead to further, in my talk, I'll lead to more detailed understanding about this particular entity. So, sarcopenia increases the risk of falls and fractures, impairs the ability to perform activities of daily life. So the activities of daily living will get affected and is associated with cardiac diseases, respiratory diseases and cognitive impairments, which are very common in diabetic patients. And this leads to mobility disorders and contributes to lowered quality of life, loss of independence or need for long-term care, and even death can happen. In financial terms, sarcopenia is very costly to the healthcare systems. The presence of sarcopenia increases the risk of hospitalization, the costs of care during the hospitalization, right? So these are all very important things we need to understand. Then only we can understand why it should be prevented. Among older adults who are hospitalized, those with sarcopenia on admission were more than 5-fold more likely to have higher hospitalization costs than those without sarcopenia. So you are understanding how heavy the price one has to pay for it. So let's understand what is the latest definition of sarcopenia. See, as such, sarcopenia is one such entity which has been in the research for last 10 years. It's not very old entity. Frailty, increasing the disability. The original operational definition of sarcopenia has been modified in the recent past. In last 5 years, in fact, in 2018, there was a major change at that time and added muscle function to the former definition based only on detection of low muscle mass. Both remains problematic as the primary parameters to define sarcopenia. Detection of low physical performance predicts adverse outcomes. So, such measures are thus used to identify the severity of osteopenia and severity of sarcopenia. So, slowly use your functional muscles. And why? That's the topic of today's. Number one reason is to develop the habit of being able to stand. Just don't sit and don't lie down. If you can sit, if you can sit, make an effort to stand. Don't keep on lying down continuously. Number two, after the age of 50 to 60 years of age, it is not possible to lose weight, especially if you do not exercise and rely on eating less. Because only relying on eating less or only dietary management is not good enough. Because if all the muscles are lost, it can be very, very dangerous. You must have heard a lot of incidences. A lot of people keep telling my grandma, my elderly mother are all getting very, very thin and frail because they stop moving much around. So number three reason is, does running or cycling or climbing hurt the knee? If you have never exercised before, that's the answer. If you have never exercised before, you can only go running, biking, or climbing in your mind, as it will hurt your knees a lot. A lot of people can keep asking me, and I prefer to run. If you have never done that aggressive exercise, don't start doing like that. Start with walking first. But if you have enough muscle strength and slowly develop the habit of running, cycling, and climbing even. Climbing is fantastic exercise. I'll be talking to you in a while. It can be a good exercise. Climbing is an excellent exercise and will not hurt your knees. Whether you hurt your knees or not depends a lot on your muscle strength. If your muscles are strong, the joint will not get affected. If the muscles are weak, the whole brunt is borne by the joint. So the fourth reason is, if an elderly person is sick or hospitalized, don't ask him to rest more or lie down and relax and not get out of the bed. Most of the times when people are, patients are getting admitted, they tend to lie down all the time, and then most of the patients will develop bed sores and all. Never do that. Lying down for a week loses at least 5% of the muscle mass, and the old man can't get his muscles back. Once you lose your muscle strength or your muscle mass, it's very difficult at that age to regain it back. The fifth reason is, don't think that you are filial by not letting the elders do any housework and scold them if they do it. Usually, many elderlies will develop a habit of asking small chores to their domestic helpers, like pulling out remote control, adjusting their fan, small chores they should be doing themselves. Sixth is, don't just do a single activity every day when you go to the park. Don't just shake your hands when you can. Also shake your legs. Most of the times people do just exercise their hands only. But if you can walk well, you must make sure that you are doing some using of horizontal bars or all those sports equipments which are installed in most of the gardens or the parks. Because as long as a person moves, then all the muscles of the whole limb or body will be getting involved. Many elderly people even have difficulty swallowing because of insufficient exercises. They are not able to cough out their expectorations, so they find very difficult, and in the end they could not even cough up the mouthful of sputum, and they need a lot of chest physiotherapy, and they even die just because of aspiration pneumonia, because their muscles are so weak, chest muscles become so weak. So very important to understand in today's topic, sarcopenia is more terrifying than osteoporosis. I have already made 2 videos on osteoporosis. You can follow it. I will be leaving a link here and in description of both those videos. With osteoporosis, you just need to be careful that you should not fall down, right? Whereas in sarcopenia, not only affects the quality of life, but also it causes a high blood sugar due to poor muscle mass. As the muscles are not exercising much, it will definitely lead to hyperglycemic state, high blood sugar levels. It makes you more prone to become diabetic. My point today is, the fastest loss of muscles is in the muscles of the legs. You must have seen a lot of people are overweight seen from their trunk, but their legs are very thin, right? Yesterday only I saw one patient who was 177 kgs and legs probably were much thinner than mine. So you can imagine how much weight is going through the legs, but the muscles, if they are weak, very difficult for such patients to lead their life. So this is particularly very important to understand that the muscle strength has to be maintained, has to be improvised by strengthening, by doing regular exercises, and at least walking should be done every day. Another good exercise is to do squatting, at least 20 to 30 times of squatting every day. That will definitely help you. 20 to 30 times a day is good enough. Squat is not squatting down, but like sitting on the toilet seat. Just make your thighs parallel to the ground. Do not make it too much going down, okay? Not the way we sit in the Indian toilet system. You can use a chair or stand up when both the butts are touching the seats, right? Walking should be done every day, 20 minutes, all 7 days of the week at least, or 5 days in a week, 40 minutes. Prefer to use one stick, or for elderlies, they can also use Nordic walking sticks, which will help them to get a better confidence, prevent their falls. Prefer to walk in gardens. I've already made one video on Nordic walking. What is the role of Nordic walking sticks? How does it help? Now one can watch that video. I can put up a link of that in the description box, and you can see this, click on this link as well to understand what the role it plays, how to make use of it. I've narrated and described in that video. If you have knee pain, prefer to do cycling. Static exercise cycle is excellent thing to do. Regularly cycling can also retain your muscle strength, improve your muscle mass. Some cycles are also coming with a hand rowing facility. You can make use of those cycles also to improve the muscle strength of upper limbs. That also can be used. That's also a very good option, so that you are doing cycling for your lower limbs, and at the same time you are making use of your upper limbs for strengthening your upper limb muscles. So that's very important for all of us to understand how all these problems are to be taken care of. All the muscle mass which gets weakened with age, that has to be, one has to keep oneself very physically active. That's the only way, mind well, by keeping physically active is the only way to prevent your muscle mass loss and the muscle strength loss. And that is what is today's topic. As we also need to be aware about osteoporosis, we also need to be aware about sarcopenia. Going up down, like I stay on 7th floor, many times if I have left time, what I do is get down from 7 stairs, go up to the basement and come up. So 8 stories when I'm getting down, 8 stories when I'm coming up, that's a good enough exercise. So such exercises should be regularly being done. It will strengthen your muscle mass, it will improvise your joint conditions, it will give you a lot of prevention from a lot of problems which you can face. So for a better quality of life, for everyone in old age particularly, should keep moving. Old age, and I'm saying everybody 50 years onwards should keep walking and squatting 20 to 30 times, okay? And do at least go downstairs, climb upstairs, right? So I hope you liked today's topic. If you liked it, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe Lok Talks. If you are on the first time today on my channel, there are more than 200 videos. You can find it on all such similar topics. Don't forget to hit the bell icon. Don't forget to share with your friends, family and relatives, and in all your WhatsApp groups. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. See you in next video. Thank you.